YouTube family, oh God, you have a studious, scholastic maverick in the space today. No? This is the entire set of results from the latest RJ Gleaner done on the polls. You don't know it long, still in about 8 pages of data. And obviously, I run through it. I don't run through it, I read through it meticulously. And I realize that most of the information and the data in it are kind of like supporting data for the main questions. And we're going to just itemize the main and most important questions and the answers and give a good reflection of what the electorate feel out there towards the general election. No matter what them say about that honestly, no, it's done honest of the most credible polls in a Jamaican political arena right now. Not just politics, but in terms of experience and doing this for a long time, and the most credible pollster in a Jamaica right now. We can talk about it when we're done, how the respective party them deal with pollster depending on what the polls say. But right now, we are analyzing Dan Anderson polls for what they are. Alright. So, the most poignant thing is that, you know, it's a dead heat in terms of the PNP and the JLP and who people plan to vote for in the election. So this is the one where point to the dead heat. Taking everything into consideration, which party do you intend to vote for when the elections are called? People are not going to vote, 17.1%. Not sure yet, 14.3%. Who will vote for the JLP? 33.9%. Who will vote for the PNP? 34.7%. So that is basically a statistical dead heat. 33.9 JLP, 34.7 PNP. The marginal error, I think, a plus or minus 3%. So that a dead heat. The other question that them have related to this is why you're more likely to vote for that party. Why I don't think we need to get into that. But there are some other questions that were asked and answered as well. We really and truly reflect in how close these elections are going to be. Based on the performance of the government, do you believe that the Andrew Holness administration deserves to be elected to serve another 5 years in office? 40.8% said no. 40.9% say yes. That's another dead heat, you know. And of course, 18.3% say they're not sure or they don't know. Another straightforward question: which of the two parties do you feel has the interest of the people more? 7.5% say them don't know. Neither or none, 11.9%. The PNP, 39.9%. The JLP, 40.7%. Dead frigging heat. You know, so lots of the PNP supporters out there run up and down. I want to tell you, sir, they don't believe the elections are close. And even more aggressively, the JLP supporters, I want to tell you, sir, foolishness this. The election cannot be close. I ask one of them today, they tell me that, they say, what the data you have to suggest that the election is not close? It's a based on what we see. I say, what you see? You see everybody in Jamaica? People, a long time I tell you the election close, and it is actually too close to call. I'll know we can't call the election. I'll know we can't call the election here. And sit down on this, come bear me out there with the polls. Remember, the PNP have come from a position where they were 9 points up, you know. But this was like close to when the local government elections were held. And you realize and you remember that the JLP really and truly never started to campaign as yet. They've gone to the local government elections idle, like them had test the temperature of the room. And of course, there was a big swing towards the PNP in the local government election. Now the JLP take that as them cue. I remember the night of the local government results. Upper headquarters, Brogard with a thing. Desmond McKenzie sit down beside him. Somebody look on him face and him say, yeah, him hear what the people say. I remember the night him alluded to roads we need fixing and people need water in them house. And from that night on, I think the JLP started to strategically plan them election campaign. You notice the last 3 polls, the gap closed. There were 9 and then one when they did after that, they were at 5, and now as we did predict and tell you know, when this poll come up before this election, it's going to be a statistical dead heat. So said, so done. Now, who are going to win the election now? Who are going to win the election? Let me tell you some elephant in the room. The PNP, I think, are banking and energizing their base. When we look on the campaign them and listen to the speeches and listen to the speaker them, for the most part, them are campaign to them base. Me think the government more a campaign to a wider demographic. Wider Jamaica, the people them who are undecided, and for them campaign is Jamaica, we campaign for Jamaican achievements. So they are banking on getting more Jamaicans to come on board Project Jamaica. Now, why the PNP choose to go to them base, I think, is that, remember I said traditionally, you always, if all of you grew up in Jamaica, here say Jamaica, a PNP country. We don't say no literally so it go. But what the PNP country thing means is that the PNP base is much larger than the JLP base traditionally. Even if they change someone now, in that less people are die hard. But even then, you still have, theoretically, this is how the PNP are bank pan, people. This is how me I read the situation, Theoretically, me feel them a bank pan, energizing them base and getting them base out to vote. Statistically, it is proven that the last general election, when the PNP lose landslide to the JLP, I think the number we get is 150,000 hardcore PNP supporters did not come out to vote for one reason or another. Whether it was the COVID, but them just never incentivized to come out and vote. Strategically this year, with a long period of campaigning, the PNP decides say they must go back for them base. I don't know if it's going to work, people. It might yet work, as me say. But me think, even if it work, me think the cost of living was a better animal for beating another election. Because the cost of living is real. And if you study elections all over the world, people, all over the world, Donald Trump used it and beat Kamala Harris like a punching bag with him, man. You think because she's a woman, why she lose? No, man. Donald Trump and the people were on message and tell the people, them say, your gas price high. Your food price high. You feel it in your day-to-day existence. Donald Trump was brilliant at that. And me feel every single election. Because the majority of people in the society are poor people. No matter what you hear no man say, the majority of the people in the society are going to be poor people. Them have vote seem like the rich man. And they are generally more poor people than rich and middle class people. So you have to pander to the poor people and say, look here, you're not still poor. All you hear them talk about this and that. See someone get rich and you still poor. Eh? Anyway, but they not pay me for my advice. JLP do them things strategically. They build them campaign around Brogan, which is a populist leader. But the data again shows that Mark Golding peg back the popularity in the popularity contest. But we shall see what we shall see, people. How much time left now? 2 weeks? Less than 2 weeks now. We are going to see how it pan out. The PNP campaign strategy right? Are it wrong? It work? Or it not work? The late campaign by the government, where them only start campaign after them get too tough lick in the local government election. Should they have been doing more before that? Is it too little too late to be walking up and down about the place and countryman? Does it look farcical to the people? Or the people are going to stick to the evil way, Eh? We don't know. That is it, no. The thing name? The statistical dead eat. Maverick. How much Maverick?